Hello, internet friends. Welcome back once again, and thank you all so much for joining me here today. We're going to jump right into the topic because it's something that's been on my mind, and I think it kind of has something to do a little bit with the training footage you're watching. This was the first 2 sessions of this training week, so we're all caught up now. But it kind of stems from this idea of a conversation I had with my girlfriend where I've been trying to implement a lot of the ideas that I've been talking about in the most recent videos into some changes that I want to make, namely in just improving my consistency with things that I care about, but not enough to put them as priorities over the other things that I want to do, and just trying to improve my ability to follow through on some of those less exciting, potentially more necessary things. And I said, today I just took some baby steps towards that. And she said, oh, if only it could always be that easy. And it made me think about that idea, just the idea of baby steps being easy and how that doesn't actually make a whole lot of sense. And so this kind of got me started off on this mental tangent that I've just been going through for the last few days. And the reason I think it kind of ties into the footage you're watching is these are probably the more boring sessions that I have. The grimy, grindy kind of just putting in the work, nothing special, no real top sets, nothing exciting. And later you're going to see the conventional deadlifts that I actively dislike. They don't feel good. I'm never excited about it. There's this wall in my ability to motivate for that session because I don't personally find much fulfillment in them. I struggle to see the value of those over something else, and I'm just having to put trust in my coaches that they're making a decision that's going to pay off. But doing that and embracing that and actively taking on the mentality of doing the things that you feel you may need to do even if you don't want to do them, that committing yourself to being able to do that is taking some baby steps. And the irony of that is those are the hardest steps you ever have to take. Barring some late life traumatic injury or something where you have to relearn to walk, we spend 9 months to a year at the beginning of our lives learning how to just stand up and take steps on our own. Those are not, they're small steps, and we kind of, it's wormed its way into our cultural lingo where we say, oh, it's just I'm taking baby steps, and that usually means I'm taking very small, seemingly insignificant steps in the correct direction. But what that really encompasses is that you are taking these small steps that have very large significance in terms of the changes that you are bringing about to your own direction in your own life. Those first 9 to 12 months of learning to walk and developing that initial skill are the most the most attention you're ever having to put into those. Think about any walks that you took or any distance you had to cover in the past few days as a non-adolescent learning to walk. It's something we take for granted. We can turn our brains off. We don't have to think about it. Where when we first learned how to do that thing, it took all of our energy and all that our little baby brains could manage just to figure out how to stand there and not fall over, and eventually to progress to walking. And one of the things that this also ties to is what those steps mean, because once you learn them, once you take those small introductory steps towards this new open world that you've kind of allowed yourself access to, the progression to fully master that ability can take years and years. Most kids are they're toddlers from the time that they're a year to a couple years old, and it may take them all the way till they're like 4 or 5 to be able to have enough mastery of their own motor skills to be competent walkers. And I'm not trying to turn this into a milestone marker of baby development, But when we dismiss the idea of taking small steps towards our goal, we often forget the significance that those steps that we're referring to and referencing were such a big thing and opened us up to a longer process. When we say that we're taking baby steps towards a goal, we tend to downplay it and say, oh, this is a very small thing that we did, and the big change is coming. But then we often expect it to come faster. If it took us 5 years to learn how to walk properly and to have any kind of control of our own body, who says that whatever other goal, whatever other direction that we're trying to work towards is going to be any easier, and that we should expect the progress to come much, much faster than that. There are certain things that you can put a little bit of work into, and they're going to show up. But really, I think that this kind of throwaway phrase that we have sort of developed the idea to just say without really linking a whole lot of meaning to it. It really is just something that we toss away. Can be a powerful reminder. Can be these words that really embody the process of importance of taking those first steps, of getting over the initial seemingly impossible hurdle, of moving and starting to develop some momentum towards the goal, towards the development that you seek, and towards the growth that is necessary when doing these things. And then also to kind of encompass what it means in terms of the patience that's required after you do that to move towards the mastery of whatever it is. And so the pursuits that we have after that point become more kind of more fulfilling and more meaningful and more directed by our own choices of what we find to be important in our lives, and we get to choose those things. It's not something that is as fundamentally basic as learning to have enough control of our own body to move, but if it's something in physical improvement, if it's something like strength training related, if it's something like athletic performance, if it's something like work performance, these are things where you have to develop mastery of yourself. And if you're not currently there, if you're not at the level you want to be at, you have to commit to taking some small yet very, very significant steps towards that growth. That's the first thing you have to do. And it may take a bit of a buildup. It may take you a while to be able to achieve enough momentum to even start moving. And then once you're in, you can settle into the commitment that you are making to yourself and the idea that you're going to be able to continue to build that momentum towards mastery for years and years and years. And there's the potential that we can still learn. When I was in high school and when I got to college, I was still learning mastery of my own body, something that I began to develop as an infant, and it's something that has lasted me at least this far in my life. And I'm trying to use that kind of understanding and that way of thinking of things, that new perspective, to help embolden me in the directions that I'm choosing now and the things that I'm putting more of my focus and energy and I guess I was going to say entertainment, that doesn't make sense, but more of my directed mental focus towards these goals. So that's really what I wanted to talk about today, and I hope that this new way to think of an old idea, or this perspective that felt new to me, maybe it's something that you've thought about before, but I hope that reminding you of it can bring you some help in finding kind of the encouragement towards taking those steps to move towards the goals that you're setting for yourselves. So thank you very much for that. I hope that it did help you today. Wherever you're at, I hope that you're having a great day, and I will talk to you very soon. Bye.